I was sitting in the conference room at Apex Solutions, watching my stepdad, Gerald, pace back and forth like a caged animal. His face was red veins bulging in his neck as he pointed his finger at me. The entire staff sat frozen around the long table. Gerald's voice echoed off the walls. "You are stupid. You are useless. You have been dead weight since day one." I sat there, hands folded, completely calm. A small smile almost broke through. If only he knew what I had done over the past 3 months. If only he understood that, while he was screaming, his company was already collapsing around him. Before we dive into how years of humiliation led to the most satisfying collapse I have ever witnessed, let me know where you are watching from in the comments. And if you have ever dealt with someone who underestimated you, hit that like button and subscribe, because this story is about to get real. My name is Bruce, and this story starts long before that conference room meltdown. It starts when I was 14 years old, sitting at the dinner table with my mom, Patricia, meeting Gerald for the first time. My dad had passed away when I was 8, and for 6 years it had just been Mom and me. We were close. We had our routines. We had learned to be happy again after the grief. Then Gerald showed up. He was a sales manager at some tech company, tall and confident with a smile that seemed to light up the room. He brought flowers for Mom and a baseball glove for me. I remember thinking, maybe this could be good. Maybe Mom deserved to be happy again. Maybe I could have a father figure who would teach me things, support me, be there. For the first couple of years, Gerald played the role perfectly. He showed up to my basketball games. He helped me with my homework. He made Mom laugh in ways I had not heard since Dad died. When they got married, I was genuinely happy for them. I stood next to Gerald at the altar, 16 years old, believing we were becoming a real family. But people change, or maybe they just stop pretending. Gerald started his own company when I was 17, Apex Solutions. It was a marketing and branding consultancy, and Gerald threw himself into it completely. Suddenly, the dinners stopped. The basketball games were missed. The conversations became shorter, sharper. He would come home late, pour himself a drink, and barely acknowledge Mom or me. The comments started small. Little digs here and there. "Bruce, you really need to think before you speak." Or, "I do not know how you're going to make it in the real world with that attitude." Mom would laugh them off, tell me Gerald was just stressed about the business. She would say he was trying to toughen me up, prepare me for life. I swallowed it. I told myself he was right. Maybe I was not smart enough. Maybe I needed to prove myself. So I did exactly that. I studied hard, got good grades, pushed myself. I graduated from the University of Southern California with a degree in marketing and a 3.7 GPA. I thought finally Gerald would see I was not the dumb kid he made me out to be. When I told him I wanted to work at Apex Solutions, he barely looked up from his laptop. "Fine," he said. "You can start as a junior coordinator. Do not expect special treatment." I did not expect special treatment. I expected a chance. I started at Apex Solutions 3 weeks after graduation. The office was in a sleek building in downtown Los Angeles, glass and steel floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. It should have felt exciting. Instead, it felt like walking into a battlefield where I was already unarmed. Gerald put me at the smallest desk in the corner next to the copy machine. My title was Junior Marketing Coordinator, but really, I was doing whatever nobody else wanted to do. Filing paperwork, scheduling meetings, ordering lunch for client presentations. But I watched, I listened, I learned. I realized quickly that I had a knack for understanding what clients actually wanted. Not what they said they wanted, but what they needed. I could read between the lines in emails, pick up on hesitations in phone calls. I started making small suggestions to the account managers. Most of them appreciated it. Some of them started asking for my input regularly. Gerald noticed none of this. Or, if he did, he never acknowledged it. I remember one time, about a year into working there, I had spent an entire weekend putting together a presentation for a potential client. It was a boutique hotel chain looking to rebrand. I researched their competitors, analyzed their target demographics, created a full strategy deck with visuals and data. Monday morning, I handed it to Gerald. He flipped through it in about 30 seconds, then tossed it back on my desk. "This is garbage," he said. "You clearly do not understand the industry. Stick to what you are good at." I never found out what I was supposed to be good at. 2 days later, we won that hotel chain as a client. Gerald presented my strategy word for word, slide for slide, and took full credit. When the client praised his vision, Gerald did not even glance in my direction. That was the pattern. I would work, Gerald would take, and I would swallow the bitterness and keep going. The worst part was not Gerald. It was Mom. Every time I tried to talk to her about how he treated me, she defended him. "Your stepdad is under a lot of pressure, Bruce. He built that company from nothing. You need to be patient. He is hard on you because he sees potential." I stopped trying to convince her. What was the point? By my second year at Apex Solutions, I had helped close deals worth over $2 million. Nobody knew it but me and a few of the account managers who worked directly with me. To everyone else, I was just the stepdad's charity case, the kid who got a job because of family connections. Then came the meeting that changed everything. It was a Tuesday morning in March. Gerald had called an all-hands meeting to discuss a new campaign for one of our biggest clients, a fitness tech startup called PulseFit. They were launching a new app and wanted a complete marketing overhaul. I had been working with the PulseFit team for months. I knew their product inside and out. I had ideas, good ones, about how to position the app to stand out in an oversaturated market. The meeting started, and Gerald opened the floor for suggestions. I took a breath and raised my hand. "I think we should focus on the community building aspect," I said. "Every fitness app talks about results and tracking, but PulseFit has this unique feature where users can connect with local workout groups. We should build the whole campaign around real stories from real people." The room went quiet. A few people nodded. I saw Derek, one of the senior account managers, smile slightly. Gerald stared at me like I had just insulted his mother. Then he laughed. Not a kind laugh. A mocking one. "This is exactly why I do not let you handle real clients, Bruce," he said. "You have no idea what you're talking about. Community building. These people want results, not friends. Stick to filing papers and let the adults handle strategy." My face burned. I looked down at the table, unable to meet anyone's eyes. The meeting continued, but I did not hear another word. After it ended, I walked straight to the restroom and locked myself in a stall. I did not cry. I was past crying. I just sat there staring at the wall, feeling the weight of 2 years of humiliation pressed down on me. When I finally came out, Derek was waiting by the sinks. He looked at me, then glanced at the door to make sure we were alone. "Do not let him break you," Derek said quietly. "Your idea was brilliant. I have been here 5 years, and I have seen Gerald do this to a lot of people. He takes their ideas, shoots them down publicly, then uses them later and pretends they were his all along." I nodded, not trusting myself to speak. Derek hesitated, then added, "Just so you know, half the people in that room thought your idea was the best one presented, including me." That should have made me feel better. It did not. 3 months later, the PulseFit campaign launched. It was built entirely around community stories and local connections. It was my idea, executed perfectly. Gerald took all the credit and got a bonus. I got nothing, not even a thank you. But the real breaking point came in June. We had a meeting with a Fortune 500 manufacturing company, Silverline Industries. They were looking to modernize their brand image and were considering 3 different agencies. This was a 7-figure deal. Gerald had been obsessing over it for weeks. I had prepared everything. The presentation slides, the research, the financial projections, the creative mock-ups. I knew this pitch inside and out. The day of the meeting, Gerald showed up 20 minutes late. I could smell the whiskey on him before he even sat down. His eyes were slightly glazed, his movements just a little too loose. The Silverline executives were polite but clearly unimpressed. Gerald stumbled through the first few slides, forgetting key points, mixing up statistics. When the CEO, a sharp woman named Catherine Moore, asked a specific question about ROI projections, Gerald froze. He turned to me and I saw the panic in his eyes quickly turn to anger. "Bruce," he snapped, "why did you not prepare this properly? Are you stupid? Did you even read the brief?" Every eye in the room turned to me. I felt my pulse spike, but I kept my voice steady. "I can answer that question," I said, looking directly at Catherine Moore. I walked her through the numbers, explained our methodology, showed her exactly how we would measure success. She nodded, satisfied. The meeting continued, and I ended up presenting most of it while Gerald sat there, arms crossed, jaw clenched. When the Silverline team left, they shook my hand and said they would be in touch. Catherine Moore handed me her business card. "You clearly know what you are doing," she said. "I appreciate your professionalism." I thought maybe finally Gerald would acknowledge what I had done. Maybe he would realize I had just saved $1 million deal. Instead, the second the elevator doors closed on the clients, Gerald grabbed my arm and pulled me into his office. He slammed the door so hard the framed certificates on the wall rattled. "Do not you ever try to show me up like that again," he hissed, his face inches from mine. "You think you are smart, you think you are better than me. You are nothing, Bruce. You are nothing without me. I gave you this job. I gave you a chance, and this is how you repay me." I stood there silent while he screamed at me for 10 minutes straight. When he finally ran out of steam, he told me my salary was being cut by 15% effective immediately. "Consider it. Punishment for insubordination," he said. I walked out of his office, went to my desk, and sat down. My hands were shaking. Not from fear, from rage. That night, I went home to the apartment I rented on the outskirts of the city. I sat on my couch in the dark, replaying the entire day in my head, and something inside me clicked. I realized I could not change Gerald. I could not make him see me as anything other than a punching bag for his insecurities. And Mom was never going to stand up for me. She had chosen her side years ago, but I could change my situation. Over the next few days, I started paying closer attention to the office dynamics. I noticed things I had been too buried in my own misery to see before. I noticed that a lot of the talented people at Apex Solutions were unhappy. I noticed the way they rolled their eyes when Gerald walked by, the way they vented quietly in the break room. I noticed that most of our major clients had stronger relationships with the account managers than with Gerald. Some of them, like Silverline, had started reaching out to me directly. And I thought, what if I just left? What if I took everything Gerald thought belonged to him and showed him exactly how much of it was actually mine, not revenge? Liberation. I started with Derek. We met at a coffee shop 3 blocks from the office on a Saturday morning. I did not waste time with small talk. "I am leaving Apex Solutions," I said, "and I am starting my own consultancy. I want to know if you would be interested in coming with me." Derek did not even hesitate. "I have been waiting for you to say that for 6 months." We talked for 3 hours. Derek had 15 years of experience in the industry. He knew the clients, the processes, the ins and outs of running an agency. What he did not have was the energy to do it alone. He had been ground down by Gerald just like I had. Together, though, we could build something. Over the next 2 weeks, I set up an LLC. I called it True North Consulting. I registered the business, created a basic website, started putting together a portfolio. I did all of it at night and on weekends in complete secrecy. Then I started reaching out to people. Carefully. Quietly. I met Amanda, our senior designer, at a networking event. She was talented, creative, and completely undervalued at Apex Solutions. When I told her what I was planning, she said, "I have been looking for a reason to quit for a year. This is it." Kevin, our lead data analyst, came next. Then Rachel, our best copywriter. One by one, I approached the people who made Apex Solutions actually function, the people Gerald took for granted. Every single one of them said yes. But we agreed on one thing. We would not leave immediately. We would not burn bridges or create drama. We would wait until the moment was right, and we would do everything legally and professionally. No poaching, no stealing proprietary information, just people choosing to leave a toxic environment for something better. While we were building the team, I started working on the clients. I did not badmouth Gerald. I did not have to. I just showed up. I attended industry conferences. I made myself visible. I had coffee meetings with client contacts, not to pitch them anything, but just to maintain relationships. At one event, I ran into Catherine Moore from Silverline Industries. We talked for a while about the campaign we were running for them. She seemed impressed with the results. Then she asked, "Are you always going to work for your stepdad?" I smiled. "I am exploring options, but I value our working relationship regardless of where I end up." She nodded knowingly. "Let me know when you make a move. We work with you, not him." That conversation was a turning point. Over the next 2 months, I had similar conversations with 6 other major clients. I did not ask them to leave Gerald. I just made it clear that I would be available if they ever wanted to work with me independently. All of them, every single one, indicated they would follow me. By the end of September, 3 months after Gerald had cut my pay and screamed at me in his office, I had commitments from 7 of Apex Solutions' 10 biggest clients. Those 7 clients represented 65% of the company's revenue. I also had 5 key employees ready to resign on the same day. Gerald had no idea. He continued to treat me like garbage, continued to take credit for my work, continued to humiliate me in meetings. And I let him. Because every insult, every put down, every moment of disrespect just made me more certain I was doing the right thing. Then came the Monday morning that changed everything. Gerald called an emergency all-hands meeting. He had been drinking the night before. I could see it in his bloodshot eyes, the slight tremor in his hands. He was in a foul mood, the kind where he needed someone to blame for whatever was bothering him. He started the meeting by complaining about missed targets, about people not working hard enough. His eyes kept drifting to me. Then he just snapped. "You know what?" he said, standing up and pointing at me. "I am sick of this. I am sick of carrying dead weight. Bruce, you have been useless from day one. You contribute nothing. You cost me money. You are an embarrassment." The room went silent. People stared at their laptops at the table, anywhere but at me or Gerald. I just sat there completely calm. Gerald kept going. "You are stupid. You are lazy. The only reason you have a job is because of your mother, and I am done with this charity case. You are fired. Pack your things and get out of my office." I stood up slowly. I looked around the room, saw Derek trying not to smile, saw Amanda watching me with steady eyes. I looked back at Gerald. "Understood," I said quietly. "I will clear my desk." Gerald actually laughed. "Finally, some obedience. Maybe you are not completely stupid after all." I walked to my desk, packed my few personal items into a box, and left. I did not say goodbye to anyone. I did not need to. As I walked to my car, I pulled out my phone and sent a single text to Derek. "It is time." By 5 o'clock that afternoon, Derek had submitted his resignation letter via email. The next morning, Amanda, Kevin, and Rachel all did the same. They each gave 2 weeks' notice, professional and courteous. Gerald called me 7 times that day. I did not answer. On Wednesday, Silverline Industries sent a formal email to Apex Solutions terminating their contract effective immediately. The email stated they would be transitioning their account to True North Consulting. Thursday, 3 more clients sent similar emails. By Friday, all 7 major clients had jumped ship. Gerald lost 65% of his revenue in 5 days. He left me a voicemail that Friday night. He was screaming so loud I had to hold the phone away from my ear. He threatened to sue me, to destroy me, to make sure I never worked in the industry again. I called him back. Once. Everything we did was legal. "Gerald," I said calmly. The clients chose to leave on their own. The employees resigned with proper notice. I did not steal anything from you. I just stopped letting you steal from me." He started to respond, but I hung up. An hour later, Mom called. She was crying. "How could you do this to him?" she asked. "How could you destroy your stepdad's business after everything he has done for you?" I took a deep breath. I had been preparing for this conversation for months, but it still hurt. "Mom," I said, "what exactly has he done for me? He gave me a job where he paid me below market rate and verbally abused me daily. He took credit for my work. He humiliated me in front of clients and colleagues. He called me stupid and useless. And you watched all of it happen and told me to be patient." She was quiet for a long moment. Then she said, "He gave you opportunities, Bruce. He gave you a future." "No, Mom. He gave me trauma. He gave me years of feeling worthless. And you know what? I gave myself a future. I built something on my own with people who actually respect me. I'm not destroying Gerald. I'm just refusing to be destroyed by him anymore." "But he is your family," she said weakly. "He is your husband. He was never my family. Family does not treat people the way he treated me, and family does not stand by and watch it happen." Mom started to cry harder. I felt a pang in my chest, but I did not back down. "I love you, Mom. I always will. But I cannot do this anymore. I cannot set myself on fire to keep Gerald warm. I am done." I hung up before she could respond. That night I sat in my apartment and felt the weight of 2 years lift off my shoulders. It hurt, it was messy, but it was right. Over the next 4 months, I watched from a distance as Apex Solutions crumbled. Gerald tried to replace the clients. He tried to hire new staff. But the industry is smaller than people think. Word got around about why people left, about how he treated employees, about his instability. Nobody wanted to work with him. By January, Apex Solutions was done. Gerald sold what was left of the company to a competitor for pennies on the dollar, just enough to cover his debts. 6 months after I was fired, Mom called me again. Her voice was different, quieter, sadder. "Gerald and I are getting divorced," she said. I did not know what to say. "You were right," she continued, "about everything. I should have protected you. I should have seen what he was doing. I was so afraid of being alone again after your father that I convinced myself Gerald was good for us. I ignored what was right in front of me. I am sorry, Bruce. I am so, so sorry." I closed my eyes. Part of me wanted to be angry, to tell her it was too little too late. But another part of me, the part that still remembered being 8 years old and holding her hand at Dad's funeral, just felt sad. "I forgive you, Mom," I said, "but things are different now. We cannot go back to how we were." "I know," she said, "but maybe someday we can build something new." "Maybe," I said, "someday." We talk now, Mom and me. Not often, but enough. It is slow, rebuilding trust, but I think we will get there. As for True North Consulting, we are thriving. In our first year, we doubled the revenue Apex Solutions was bringing in at its peak. We treat our employees well. We respect our clients. We build things on a foundation of trust and competence, not fear and ego. I ran into Gerald once about a year after everything fell apart. It was at an industry event. He looked older, smaller somehow. He saw me across the room and his face hardened. For a second, I thought he might come over and start something. But he just turned and walked away. I did not feel triumphant. I just felt nothing. He did not have power over me anymore. Looking back, I realized Gerald taught me exactly what kind of leader I never want to be. He showed me how insecurity and cruelty can rot a person from the inside out. And in trying to break me, he showed me exactly how strong I really was. The best revenge is not destruction. It is building something better. It is proving to yourself that you were never the person they said you were. I was never stupid. I was never useless. I was just waiting for the right moment to show everyone what I was really capable of. And when Gerald fired me that Monday morning, screaming insults in front of the entire staff, he handed me that moment on a silver platter. He just did not know it yet. Have you ever worked for someone who constantly put you down? Someone who made you question your own worth? Drop a comment below and tell me your story. And if this resonated with you, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more real-life stories about standing up for yourself. Share this with anyone who needs to hear that they are stronger than the people trying to break them. Thank you for watching, and remember, the people who call you stupid are often the ones who fear your potential the most. Keep proving them wrong.